This is number 2 and number 4 pound for pound. When was the last time you guys remember a pound for pound matchup this high?
So, Gwiz Snyder had to be like 2 versus 3 or something.
I looked it up actually for Gwiz Snyder. That was the
because David was number 1. No, he wasn't. That was 2016. What am I talking about? That was before Zayn was crazy high. That
Maybe
was his
Alex
breakout year.
Derringer.
Derringer was probably
potentially.
number 1.
Ringer was 1, Snyder 2, Gwiz 4.
Okay, who's 3?
Zayn
2-4.
Oh, really?
Oh,
going
so,
into
yeah.
NCAAs.
Wow. Interesting. I wonder why. I guess he had his Stieber win. So yeah, that one definitely is high up there. Imar Chinzo Part 4, their second NCAA final meeting, would be up there. What else?
Where does this rank amongst just in recent memory greatest rivalries?
Oh, it's up there for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
this many matches, and you know, it really has to be judged on the other side of NCAAs because it's still happening. But just to have them, all the matchups happen, they all hit, except for the scuffle time when Keegan was out smooching. But other than that, they've wrestled every other time they're supposed to, and
Yeah. The only thing that could make it better was if Carr would have won NCAAs when he took 3rd, right? Because
yeah,
he kind of got upset that year. So if he would have won 2, you know, he would have been going for his 3rd of 4, and you know, Keegan would have been doing the same thing. So that would have made it a little better.
yeah, that'd have been crazy. I don't know what am I missing?
It's
Yeah, and then I mean, I guess also if Carr wouldn't have lost to Ramirez, I mean, I think anytime either party loses outside of the other one, that kind of takes a little bit of steam off the top. So you know, Keegan he literally has, if you know, his freshman year he would have redshirted being wrestling because Corona rules, but besides that, he has no losses that are not David Carr.
You know, I wonder how high Dayton and Roman were when their first, after their second meeting at NCAAs. I bet it was really high. Another one, they only wrestled 3 times, but it was incredible. Was Nolf Imar. Nolf pins him the
that was
first time,
great.
kind of broke him, and then they had this crazy Big Ten match and a crazy close NCAA final, and Imar ended up winning. That was a great rivalry that I really enjoyed. Zahid Mark Hall had some fun back and forth because.
the guitar smash.
Well, they had the headgear pull, which was like, you know, obviously contentious.
Controversy helps rivalries.
Controversy does help. And then, okay, what happened the next time they wrestled? That was at, I think they had like an all-star meeting in Zahid one, and then they wrestled at Rec Hall, and Mark played the guitar on him. He kind of broke him, and then they wrestled at NCAAs that year, and Zahid kind of won handily, and then he smashed the guitar. Mm-hmm. That was a
Phenomenal celebration.
That was good.
Imar Chenzo, a Facebook chatter says.
Yep, I said that.
Oh, my bad.
But they're right.
Does a matchup have more hype if it's like a Snyder Gwiz where we haven't see it and we only get to see it in the NCAA finals versus something like this where we'll have seen it
Yeah.
5 times leading into the NCAA
I
final?
think, well, you're obviously more excited for that singular match. But then when you look back at like the stretch of the series, I think the more they wrestle, the better, especially if it starts going different ways. Like, you know, last year was kind of controlled the first time by Carr. Second match, really close, goes to overtime. And the third match, Keegan wins. So you kind of got a little bit of everything there. So now, you know, how does it proceed? You know, if say Keegan were to win all the next 3 and it was not very competitive, then you would kind of feel differently about it. But if, you know, Carr wins here, Keegan wins the Big 12s, Keegan wins NCAAs or something like that, then I think, you know, then it's 3-3 and you feel a little bit differently.
Yeah. Well, I would say there's a difference between like then Gwiz Snyder's not a rivalry. It's just a
True.
hype matchup. But this is a rivalry.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for like the anticipation of the match that you know you're only going to get it, you know, at the end. I mean,
all the marbles.
This is maybe not the best example right now, but like the Real Woods, Andrew Lears, it became kind of clear that was the matchup last year that you needed to see to figure out who the best guy in the country was. And so knowing you wouldn't get it till Saturday night, that made that a little more special.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't think of anything else.
You
I mean,
guys-
David Taylor versus Kyle Dake is like The,
Oh, yeah.
This hasn't reached that status yet.
Nothing will ever reach that status. In
No.
my opinion.
Whoa, ever.
Returning Hodge
Now that-
versus guy going for his fourth.
It's inconceivable.
What if it was Keegan versus Carter Sarachi next year?
Okay, that could.
Ooh,
But-
now.
But I
Oh, take
don't
it
think
back
it'll
now.
match it. I don't think it'll match it. I don't think. Well, one, I don't think Keegan's winning. the
What?
Hodge. Keegan's not winning the Hodge this year.
Carter could.
But it'd be a 4, winning 4, going versus winning 5.
A guy going for his
Ooh.
yeah.
Guy going for his fourth versus a guy who just won the Hodge.
I don't think it'll be as hyped as
And a
as
guy who's going for his fifth.
people will be more hyped for David versus Kyle. I will always believe that. Nothing will create that level of excitement.
But on paper, like that would be
Yeah,
a guy
but
going
that's
for his
the thing.
fifth who is a returning
Why,
Hodge. If Carter
why would
won
it not? And the weird thing is, I agree with you, but
Those names
why-
don't ring out. Those guys.
But why?
Because it's like, look at the styles. Look at how David was winning. Look at what Kyle Dake had won 3 titles at 3 weights. They were friends, and that was like a well-known thing. And then Kyle Dake put his fourth on the line by going up into his weight class, and it was just
You mean what Keegan is doing against Carter?
not winning. He's not winning the Hodge. They're not
Carter
friends.
could win
You
the
guys
Hodge.
have Hodge rankings up for this year? I was just going to look at them. I
We
can't
do.
find them. Where are they at?
They're
Look up 2024 Hodge rankings, FloWrestling. Should be the
it's
first one.
Second on college, I found it.
Do you
Second.
think that you're a little bit biased
No.
now because they have so many world titles compared like between
No, I
Absolutely
agree.
not.
I agree with
absolutely
you.
not. It was the biggest thing ever. I don't think anything's gonna match it. Personally, I mean, well, there's things I don't know that are gonna happen in the future, but there's nothing I see on the horizon coming. Maybe if there's like a Bo Bassett versus Anthony Knox rivalry or something in 4 years, that could go crazy. But no,
I think to say it's not on the same level is like pretty wild. It would be a guy going for the only guy who will ever be able to go for his fifth title, who perhaps could be the returning Hodge winner, against a guy who's going for his fourth title.
Here's the difference. Storaci isn't bumping up and putting it on the line, and Storaci isn't the poster boy of Penn State like David was.
Yeah, but Keegan is the one bumping up and putting it on the line the way Dake
Yeah,
did.
but
it
it-
wasn't the poster boy of
but-
Penn State.
well, listen,
But
he can probably
Jake
think
was the one bumping up and
Carter's-
putting his fourth on the line.
Yes.
So it'd be like Carter it'd be like Carter being the poster boy of Penn State and bumping up and putting his title on the line, not Keegan.
No, because Dake didn't wrestle at Penn State.
I know.
So that doesn't even make sense.
No, but I'm saying Storaci is the one going for the unprecedented fifth, as like Dake was going for the unprecedented four different weights.
Yeah, okay.
And Carter Storaci, while he is maybe Penn State's most popular guy this year, they are producing those guys so frequently now. He is not the poster child of the program like David was.
Also, we'll see how the reaction to this, but the 4-timer thing has a different sort of reverence now and stigma.
Yes.
Like at that time, Cal
little
Dake was
bit.
the first one to get one since Kale, and Kale was the first since Pat Smith. Since then, Logan got one, Yanni got one. We're probably gonna have 2 this year. Might have another one next year. I feel like 4-timer. I'm not saying if something happens more often, it does lose its specialness.
Which is why someone going for their fifth title would be such a big deal.
It's just it's more of a. It's not that It's hard to. I don't even know what it is because there's only a few people that's even a possibility for. You think Kale would have 22 if he just kept wrestling? Like I don't. It doesn't. 5 is not that special to me. It's like it's hard to do, but like
I think it's special because he's the only one who will ever
Kale
be
would
able to
have
do it.
22. That'd be great.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the case.
yeah. So
And even when you're winning NCAA titles, I mean, as referenced by Spencer Lee last year, even when you're winning NCAA titles, it's still tough to win more NCAA titles. So I do think the more in a row you get, the better.
Well,
and Cam
yeah.
might have got 22.
This is our 30-minute warning, by the way.
30-minute warning.
Yeah, we've been talking about this topic for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's very interesting though.
I'm willing to move on as long as you guys.
Big Taylor was
I'm
just
ready.
lightning in a bottle that will never be captured again.
Yeah, I mean, I think and the numbers
Oh my
bear it
gosh,
out.
you
Look at
guys
all the
are
crazy stuff.
hyperbolic.
Look at all the crazy stuff that's happened since 2013 NCAAs. No NCAA finals has ever been really close.
In viewership, not close.
It's the highest by far.
Okay, but you're comparing it to an NCAA's that hasn't happened yet.
Okay. And I feel like I have a very good pulse on people's interests. And that's just my prediction. That's how I see it.
You don't think
I
people
see
would
how
tune into
And there was controversy.
Keegan
Well-
take on Carter?
Of course they will, but I'm saying it's not going to be like that.
It's not.
I'm sorry.
It's sad.
They do not have that kind of magnetism for people.
There's also controversy in their scuffle.
The match was contentious also.
So
There could
so
be
that helped.
controversy that maybe Keegan and Srirachi wrestles.
Maybe
in a
Keegan starts
controversial match.
kissing girls again on New Year's Eve, and then who knows? All bets are off at that point.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's Carter's girl. You never know.
All right.
That's what we. If that happens, I'll retract my statement. Kissing Keegan. That's his new nickname.
Oh my god.
Shout out. Shout out.
Moving
Keegan.
on.